Hi, everybody. Welcome to MG 201. We were just wrapping up week 3, so I hope you have enjoyed the topics we've spoken about so far. I just wanted to do a quick recap on a couple of the things that are probably really important in the last few weeks that we've covered. I want to make sure that you have a firm understanding of mission and vision statements. I think that the assignment that was given was helpful in cementing that in your mind. These really should be very well thought out statements, and very rarely should change. So part of the Barnes and Noble experiment or case study was to just get you to realize that even though industries change and there's disruptors along the way and things like that can happen, a well written mission statement and vision statement do stand the test of time most of the time. A couple other things that happened in week 2, we talked about goal setting. That is one of the principal missions or goals that your upper level managers have in mind. So when they go about setting strategic goals, tactical goals, and operational goals, they have to make sure that things are generally SMART. That acronym is used quite widely in business today. SWOT, SWOT. That analysis is very strong. There is the strong possibility that many of you will get asked to do one in your professional lives, especially if you reach a management level. Always remember that strengths and weaknesses are internal and that opportunities and threats are external, especially in terms of industries that are popping up nowadays and are called disruptors. So when you look at companies like Uber and Lyft, that have totally disrupted the transportation and the taxi organizations that are out there. That industry was rocked by the idea that people would actually accept rides with total strangers and take away from their business profile. Same thing with, Airbnb itself has altered the way people travel. And how they book hotels, if they book hotels, or if they just stay in a room share situation. So there's disruptors coming from all sides, and those folks, you don't even know that they're on the radar. So in terms of assessing a threat, many times they're missed. You just don't even know until that disruptor has hit the marketplace and taken market share. Something to think about. You never know where competition is going to come from. So some things you wouldn't have thought about in the past, they pop up. Look how much Amazon has totally disrupted the brick and mortar business. And you think about how massive that change has been, where some companies have totally gone out of business because of the lack of desire or need for people to actually show up in a brick and mortar business to buy their product. Constantly, new things come to market. So you have these food delivery services like Blue Apron and, HelloFresh, doing preset meals to people's homes, and you have to cook it, but it takes the step out of all the shopping and the thinking and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, you never know where disruptors are going to come along the way. Something totally to think about in terms of threats in your marketplace. One other thing I did want to talk about was your let me just bring it up so I don't say the wrong thing, is the BCG analysis. That is the Boston Consulting Group. You will hear this terminology in your business settings. So you'll talk about somebody like, that's a dog. They really do mean that product has a low market share and the low opportunity for growth. And what you'll probably see when something is identified as a dog is a shifting away from investing anymore in that. Cash cows, they stay around for a long, long time before anybody thinks about getting rid of them because they have such a high market share. You also have your in your far corner, you have your high market share and high growth stars. That's where a lot of company effort and investment usually goes to. And your question marks, sometimes they're not called question marks, sometimes they're called unknowns, but you don't know which way it's going to go. So they will in fact still continue to invest in that if it's in a high market growth area. So think about those terminologies when you hear them. Now hopefully you know, and that gives you some insight into strategic models that are out there for your management folks. Anyway, those are the important topics for the second week. I know I just glanced over them. One thing I did want to talk about also before I log off of this little snippet is Porter. Now Porter is this management guru. He has Porter's 4 and Porter's 5. Try not to mix them up. It's a common occurrence. Porter's 4 basically is used for grand strategy to determine if you're going to go with growth or reactive in terms of high-level strategy moving forward. And Porter's 5 are your competitive forces. So they have a slightly different usage. They would be used for threats of new entry, your bargaining suppliers, and those kinds of things. And that kind of information generally can be used in preparation for your SWOT. So just make sure you keep those things distinct in your mind. Like I said, you have your Porter's 5 for industry analysis and your Porter's 4 for strategic analysis. Okay, so I'm sorry if that tripped anybody up, but it's a couple of things just to be aware of. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more videos and talk a little bit about the assignments that are coming up, so look forward to those. Thanks, bye.